The lights are on, the curtain's up. This is Steps to the Stage. Hello and welcome to Steps to the Stage, the show where I talk with the community theater professionals you know and love. And today we have our guest, Chris Diehl. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You've been on the show once or twice before now, but introduce yourself in case anyone is new.
I'm Christopher Diehl, and I am currently the co-artistic director for Chino Community Theater.
Yes, and today we are talking about the Chino Community Theater season reveal.
That is right.
Yes, that was a wonderful little event last night. It was a show about shows, which I thought was very interesting. So why don't you talk about putting that whole show together, because it was a whole production.
Yeah, it definitely is. It is kind of amazing. We had a meeting actually this morning, having a little postmortem about the event, and we really did all talk about how amazing it is that so many people can come together and put this show on with very little prep time. It's really quite amazing because we have so many people involved in this season reveal. And what we do is, we obviously pick our season, and we keep it secret. And we have we ask everybody to come and our season ticket holders and anybody in the public can come, and it's absolutely free. And we basically one by one reveal all the shows that we're doing for each season, and we have the directors that we've picked for each show come out, and they get to talk about the show and give the audience a wet their whistle basically for the shows in case they don't know what they are. But we have picked a really, I think, a crowd-pleasing season, So I think most people, judging by the response we got when we revealed each show, it seems like a lot of people were very happy with our choices. But we have a lot of people that come together to really put this show on. And Gracie and I, my co-artistic director, Gracie Arvisu, we host it every year, and everyone just kind of pitches in, and we have one Sunday tech rehearsal before the reveal, and that's it. We just get one rehearsal, and we put it all together, and it amazingly comes together. And it's especially this year, it seemed like it really went well this year. We were really happy.
It was really fun this year, and I am very excited about the shows that have been selected.
Good. We were really trying, because it's our 40th anniversary next year. So we were really trying to pick a season that the audience was really going to dig. Basically, we were trying to think of what's the most fun season that we could put together while still doing, one that's artistic and challenging.
Yeah.
And, so something that challenges us, but also gives the audience something that's really fun and something they're really going to want to come to see.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a good mix of that throughout the list that I have here. I noticed during the show there are all these projections of the different show logos and titles. How did that, or was it just?
Yeah, well, that was kind of new for us this year. We're kind of getting into using more modern technology with our shows. I think live theater in general has been doing that for a while now, is kind of learning to incorporate technology into our shows, and we're definitely trying to do that with that. And it was fun. It was a fun little thing to have those projections. We have a wonderful outreach person, Sage Gangula, who put those projections together for us. And we have some great artists who help with putting the show art together and stuff like that. And so we're really grateful to have so many great and artistic and talented people that work with us.
You said you only have one day to sort of really put it all together all at once, that one tech.
Right, with everybody, because we had so many people that participated. As you might have seen, I think you even posted our picture that we took of everybody that was involved that day of our tech rehearsal. And so getting all those people together on the same day is a challenge, so we really only have one opportunity to put it all together. And this theater, is also being used all the time, because we share it with the Children's Theater, and they had their own reveal. So many things are going on, and so we really don't have a whole lot of time to put these things together. So we're lucky to have such talented people that are able to, put it together on the fly like this.
And it all goes off without a hitch. And
We might have had a few hitches here and there.
A backstage hitch, then.
Yeah. Hopefully the hitches weren't too obvious. To the audience. But.
Would you mind talking about sort of the season creation process of early in the year of hearing pitches from other directors and trying to figure out what makes the cut and what doesn't, if you're allowed to speak on that?
Well, we have a play selection committee, and we invite people to be a part of our play selection committee. So it's different from the actual board.
Okay.
So the board is ultimately decides, or the managing committee is what we call it. They ultimately give the go-ahead for the season, what the play selection committee will pick. But we all get together and we pitch shows, and we pass scripts to each other and read them. And we, Gracie and I, as the artistic directors, we kind of lay out, what we're kind of looking for the season. And I think we told everybody we really wanted for our 40th anniversary to have just a bang up season, just a show. Because, community theater and theater in general, live theater, I think is struggling right now, just in general, getting audiences back. The pandemic really kind of put us behind, and, getting audiences to come get off their couches and get away from, their streaming services for a night, because everything's at your fingertips at home anymore. So it's a challenge to really entice people to get out of their house and come to the theater. And so we really wanted to pick shows that the audiences were really going to respond to. And so that's what we did. And that was our goal, for season 40, was to get people back, bring audiences back into the theater. And we thought we picked shows that are going to do that. We hope.
Yeah. It sounds like they will. Yeah. Can we talk about the shows?
Oh, yeah, certainly. Okay. I'd love to. The first show we're going to do is Noises Off, which we thought was a great kind of kickoff for the season. It's a show that a lot of people know. It's a wonderful, hilarious farce. It's been around for years. It's a great movie, a star-studded movie that a lot of people have seen. It's kind of like the farce to end all farces. I think, when you think of a farce, you think of Noises Off. And it's going to be a challenging show for sure. We have a little stage, and we have done it before years ago. When we were doing shows in the community building. Okay. That was a bigger space. So we're in a smaller space now. So it's going to be a challenge. I know our set designer is cursing us right now for choosing this show. But I think we're going to have, judging by the cast, that our director, Cindy East, who's a veteran of our theater, she's been with us for years, directed so many shows here. I think Noises Off is going to be a great kickoff for our 40th anniversary, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm very excited for Noises Off, as well as the next show.
Yes, which is Monty Python Spamalot, which, if you're a theater geek, just opened again on Broadway. There's a revival of it, and it got great reviews, at least the reviews that I've read of it. So hopefully that gives our production a little bit of a boost, in audience recognition. But I don't think that's going to be a problem, because everybody knows Monty Python, and it's based on Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah. Did I get that right?
I think so.
Holy Grail, yeah. It's kind of confusing because songs from Life of Brian are in there.
Oh, okay.
So they have it's kind of a little bit of a mix of Monty Python, but it is so many. It's such a fun show. It's just I've actually never seen it on stage. I've only I know the cast album, but it's hilarious. Even just the cast album, listening to it, it's hilarious. So you can just imagine with Monty Python, all the visual humor and stuff like that, and that's going to be a real crowd pleaser. And I think. Chino Community Theater is also, we've done shows like this, like we did Young Frankenstein a few years ago. I think this is really in our wheelhouse. Yeah. We have a lot of really funny people in this area and that have worked with us. And I think Spamalot's going to be a great time for people.
I am always excited when the comedy musical rears its head again at CCT.
Yes.
It's a somewhat rarer type of show, but it's when it comes around, it's something special.
Yeah, and this is a good one too. They're not always, at this quality. This is a Tony winner, and it's really smart, funny. there's a lot of stupid humor in it too, but it's like smart stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just great. And audiences are, I can't wait until we get to do that. And that's going to be directed by Marilee Drake,
Yes.
who's been at our theater also, like Cindy, somebody who's been at our theater for years and years and years and really knows this kind of show really well. So she's really excited about it.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
And then we have the Throw on the Edge Festival this year, yes, with a very exciting theme.
Yes. We're trying to get some people who maybe have opted out of our Theory on the Edge Festival before, because the Theory on the Edge Festival is designed to do shows that are less mainstream, that are a little more edgy, and it scares some people. Some people don't want to come to the theater to see that kind of thing. They want to just see nice and fun and, leave happy. And some of these shows are, maybe more depressing or upsetting or, controversial. But this year we want to do something that was perhaps a little more audience friendly to get people to check out the Three on the Edge Festival, because it really is fun, because we do 3 different shows over the course of 3 weekends. So we treat it like one production. So if you come, on a Thursday, on a Friday, and on a Saturday in one weekend, you can see 3 completely different shows.
Hey, yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do completely different, 3 shows that have nothing to do with each other. But this year we're doing Alfred Hitchcock theme. So for, the classic film fans who love Alfred Hitchcock movies, and there's a lot of them, we wanted to do 3 shows that were based on or inspired by Alfred Hitchcock. So we're doing The Birds, and then we're doing Dial M for Murder, and then The 39 Steps. And what's fun about it, they're all 3 are Alfred Hitchcock films, but they're all very different takes on them. The Birds goes back to kind of the original source material. It's a newer production. Irish playwright Conor McPherson did it, and it's definitely the more modern of the 3.
Okay.
Very different from the Hitchcock film. And then you have Dial M for Murder, which is much more the traditional one, which was a famous play that Alfred Hitchcock took and almost basically just filmed the play. Because it's very, very close to what the movie is. And then the 39 Steps, which is humor, which is, basically a spoof of Hitchcock's film. And so it's 3 very different, takes on Hitchcock, which I love. And I think audiences are going to really enjoy too. So hopefully we're going to get some more people to try out Three on the Edge this year.
Yeah. And you said it yourself, but each of these shows was so unique, especially when talked about right next to each other. Yeah, it seems like it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's not all scary or all, mystery or all it's 3 very different things. So even though the theme is all Hitchcock, all 3 shows are very different. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I should say I'm directing The Birds.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that.
Very exciting.
And then we have Ken Lay, who's somebody who's done a lot at our theater.
Ken is fantastic. I enjoy working with Ken.
Yes. And then he'll be doing Dial M for Murder. And then we have Cameron Harris, who's currently directing Elf for us. He's going to be doing the 39 Steps. So really great trio.
Yes. Yeah. And then our next show.
The 2 shows, the 2 shows that end the season are actually shows that we tried to do in 2020.
Oh, yes.
But we had to cancel.
I thought so. Okay. When the final one was said, that felt familiar to me, but okay.
Yeah. So the last 2 actually were on our 2020 season. And as I think most people still remember, 2020 was a fraught year and we didn't finish our season. So we're bringing back the Children's Hour, which is by Lillian Hellman. It's going to be directed by Tony Lind. She was the original director for it. So we're glad that she is going to be able to direct this after all. And I'm really excited that we get to do this play. Lillian Hellman is a playwright from one of the great playwrights from the 20th century. Very few women playwrights are kind of up in the same league as, Arthur Miller and Tennessee Williams. And, so you don't have a whole lot of prominent female playwright names from the 20th century. She's one of them. And so I'm really happy that we're finally doing, I don't think we've done one of her plays before, but I'm really glad we're finally doing one of her plays. And this is probably her most famous one. And it's from the 1930s, but it's a play about a child who basically makes up a lie about a teacher that goes to her school and the consequences of this lie. Considering what we're dealing with right now, I think in our country with a lot of disinformation going around and lies, this is definitely something that feels very relevant today. I think so. But yeah, that's going to be our hard-hitting show of the season. But it's a really fascinating play.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then the last play, another 2020 holdover, which is It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play, which is going to be our last show of the season and our holiday show. And of course, everybody loves It's a Wonderful Life, the movie. So this is going to be a radio play version of
live radio play. Yeah. Would you mind?
Yeah, so, you know, if anybody, just a little history lesson, if anybody doesn't understand what they used to do back in the day before there was television, before there was streaming, when movies would come out, you know, they'd come out, they'd play, and then they'd disappear. So the only way to kind of keep them alive would be to recreate them on the radio, and that was what was the main entertainment for people in their homes at the time before television was they listened to the radio every night, and there was radio shows. And so these radio shows would recreate these movies, big movies, and they would get oftentimes get the original stars from these films, you know, so you'd have Cary Grant and Clark Gable and, you know, Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. They'd all come and they'd do these radio recreations of their own films. So this It's a Wonderful Life basically recreates one of those 1930s, 1940s radio shows where you'd have live audiences come, and they'd sit and they'd see the stars in front of them, and they'd be up there with the microphones and the applause signs and on air and
sound effects
and the live commercials being and the sound effects on stage. So you see people, you know, doing all the sound effects, you know, the phone and everything like that. And so it's really fun. It's a fun thing to. It's just a different way to tell a story. You know, we're just actually not a different way. We're reviving an old way, but for us in the 21st century, it's fun. It's a fun, like nostalgic little trip back in time. You know, so we're going to be doing that as our holiday show. It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play, and it's going to be directed by Ellie Schwartz.
Yes. Yeah, sounds very exciting. The whole thing. Would you mind talking about working with all of these different directors?
Yeah. They've all directed for us before, I believe. Yes, everybody who's directing for us this year has directed for us before, so we know them all. Anything in particular you want to know about?
I just meant there's so many different voices involved in this, and so when putting the season together and when putting the show together, just sort of what was that with all those different artists and sort of storytellers? What was that sort of like?
Right. Well, it's just always interesting to hear people's ideas, you know, for shows, and sometimes they come in and really surprise you with something that I never. That's a great take that I never would have thought of. But yeah, it's really just kind of having people come in, pitching their ideas about, you know, how they see a particular show. Sometimes, you know, you get people with completely wackadoodle, you know, ideas, and you might be saying, that might not be for our theater, you know, maybe somewhere else, but not for us. I think what we have is people that know our theater. It's always good to have people that know the theater that they're directing for and know the patrons and know what they like and know, you know, because every theater is different. And I've directed a lot of different theaters, and it is a very different experience wherever you go. So we're lucky that we have a lot of really good, talented people kind of in our pool, you know, that want to work here, that want to, you know, don't come here once and run away screaming and never want to work here again. So we're grateful that we don't have a problem getting people to come back, you know, and direct for us. So that's a really great thing. So it must be I think we give a lot of freedom to people. You know, we obviously oversee everything, but we kind of let people do what they want to do without a lot of interference, you know? And I think a lot of directors appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you would like to add or speak on today?
Just that, you know, like I said earlier, our goal really was to kind of bring back theater and get people back into the theater going experience. And so we did our part to really try to listen to what people want to see. You know, we do listen to people, and you know, we hear we hear the grumbles, you know, and people who say, "Oh, you know, there's too much language, you know, bad language in some of these shows and stuff like that." And we do listen, and we do try to accommodate people and our loyal patrons. And you know, if they tell us they want things that are a little more family friendly or things that are less serious, or you know, we really do listen to them and try to accommodate. And we really think that this year is going to be a really fantastic year, and we're really hoping that we can get people to get back into the theater going experience. You know.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us, Chris. I had a really great time.
Oh, thank you, Colin. It's great to just be able to, open my mouth and talk all about Chino Community Theater, one of my favorite topics.
And I love to listen. You know.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this platform.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for listening to Steps to the Stage, and now it's time for the curtain call.